This is the masterpiece of Ultra Magnus.
You like this one.
Yeah, I can't lie. That's.
Die! Die!
So, what are the white TARDISes on his shoulders?
You always ask me this.
I do, because I don't. It's such a distinct design feature, you know.
It is a very distinct chunk of his design. Yes, the white TARDIS shoulders. It's because in the original toy, this part would shift down and would extend outwards. His arms would get really, really long.
Oh.
And that's how he would transform. So this was just leftover from him transforming.
Okay.
The TARDIS top bit was to make it stop, to catch it on this part, so it didn't slide all the way through.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Does this toy do that?
Nope. It actually has a creative way that it deals with it, and it extends longer than if it were to do that.
So this is kind of that's a feature that more obviously shows that it was designed as a toy first, and this is a remake of that original toy, because the toy came first, then the show came afterward, and then it became part of his iconography, and all subsequent toys hold on to that design.
Correct. And I'm glad you bring that up, because it's that concept of toy first, then show that modifies the toy design to look aesthetically more pleasing, and then toys that therefore feed off of that show design that's already based on a toy. It creates this weird feedback loop where they're trying to make a toy that does things that should be theoretically impossible from the show, but they kind of work around it, and I really, really applaud that kind of a design philosophy.
Very interesting. This was the official Hasbro masterpiece, Ultra Magnus.
That's correct. We're working with official Hasbro products now. This is, well, I shouldn't say Hasbro. This is Takara. Takara were the guys that made Transformers. Technically, they invented the designs and stuff. Takara Tomy, right? That whole parent company. They made the toy designs, brought it over. It was, I think it was at some kind of toy fair.
Uh-huh.
They had a Hasbro, either a merger or a partnership, some kind of deal. And eventually we just got the Transformers that we got. It hit off way better than all the subsequent toy lines and previous toy lines that they did. Gal Gaigar, King of the Braves, we never got exposure to that in the same way that we did Transformers. In the West, especially.
That's true.
Because Transformers just popped off and has been popping off for the past, 40 gorillion years?
Well, I keep forgetting that Transformers was a Japanese thing. It's with a lot of Americanized Japanese properties, like Power Rangers, even Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Mm-hmm.
I always forget, oh yeah, those are Japanese. Because they're so Americanized, and the Transformers movies have nothing Japanesey in them.
Yeah, no, they just take the concepts and completely spin them into a new, different thing.
Yeah, it feels like a part of Americana. Of course, Michael Bay, he really fills those movies up with.
Yeah.
American flags.
Don't forget about the contributions from his brother Drew Bay.
It was cool. I actually kind of like the aesthetic of those movies with the military stuff, with the Transformer stuff.
It's great, yeah. I mean, there was always kind of a theme with Transformers where they would have military vehicles.
Yeah, tanks and shit.
Yeah, you'll have Hound, who turns into a Jeep, or Hound.
Remember Bone Crusher? He looked cool.
Bone Crusher is ready.
I remember he said that in the movie.
Yeah, and then he got his eye ripped out or something, right? Or no, his head got ripped off.
Back to Ultra Magnesite.
Yeah, what?
Oh.
Look at that. Brr.
He's got a Hank Hill, flat ass.
Yeah, well, it's an ass flat. But you can do that. And then...
Oh, hey. Put that.
Insert clip of put that. This is Ultra Magnus when he put that. Either you have it doing that, or you can... And then it looks like that. So...
Yeah, it looks good.
I mean, yeah, it's... You expect his back to be a bit bulkier because of all that goes into his vehicle mode, right? Because he's supposed to be Optimus Prime kind of wearing a suit of armor.
Is that what Okay.
Yeah, the original toy was, the trailer was designed to be a suit of armor that would hook around Optimus Prime.
And when was it decided that that's a different character?
When they were making the movie.
Okay.
They decided because Optimus Prime was kind of like his own toy, and they wanted to shift away from Optimus Prime and the original cast, so they killed off a bunch of them, including Optimus.
That's right.
They had Hot Rod become the new Prime, and then they had Ultra Magnus be like the poised new leader of the Autobots, but then he screwed it all up.
But Prime, I'm just overwhelmed by vivid images of an American sailor's death.
So, as a really little kid, I watched Transformers, the cartoon, I think, but also this cartoon's from the 80s, so I don't remember if I ever really did. All I know is, when you watch SpongeBob, there's a SpongeBob movie after the first 3 seasons, and then there's SpongeBob after the movie, before the second movie, and then there's the third movie eventually. Yep. So, in the case of Transformers, how many seasons of the show came out before they did the movie, and then the show continued afterwards? That happened, right?
I believe it was 2 seasons, before? And then the movie.
Uh-huh.
And then there was season 3, which had the opening that was like Transformer, and then there was like Unicron's head flying around.
Okay, so the continuity stuck, they held on to that.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I like it when the movie isn't just some bullshit that you can skip.
Also, after that was the point where, right, you have Galvatron now.
This is Unicorn. The Earth will soon be a part of me.
And
the status quo was different now. Now you had Rodimus.
There was Octane's Harriet, who was a triple changer. And remember, Octane was the guy that went to the nation of Tarbamia.
That sounds made up. Talk more about toy.
Oh yeah, we're getting sidetracked. So, this is a really good figure. As with any masterpiece, he has some die-cast parts. Specifically, his main body, I'll show a little bit of a spoiler here to the transformation, but this part underneath here is die-cast metal feet. They are very, very heavy because they're huge.
Wow.
And I believe maybe a couple die-cast metal joints here and there, but not really a whole lot. He only has die-cast metal where he really needs it. Mostly the legs and the body section. Because you'll see when he turns into the trailer, stuff gets really, really thin, and it needs to be made out of metal so it doesn't start to warp. What's also cool is he actually has alternate pieces and accessories. They're pretty minimal, kind of similar to OP Leader, where he doesn't need a whole lot of stuff. He's got these 2 hands, which are Matrix grabbing hands. We'll have a picture of him holding the Matrix up. He looks a bit silly, a bit a bit goofy when he's doing it. This figure wasn't really made to do that pose a whole lot. Plus, if you look at the original animation, he does it in such a way where his arms change proportion, warp around him and stuff. It just looks weird. Here we have Masterpiece Ultra Magnus doing his iconic Matrix opening pose, and you can see how the toy doesn't really translate this kind of pose well. It's he's trying to do it. It's just doing things that the toy literally is incapable of doing. And what we get here are little minifigures of Spike. Well, no, wait. This one's Spike. That one's Daniel-san. This one's Spike.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's the Karate Kid.
Yeah, but his name's Daniel too.
Spike and Daniel?
Yeah, Spike and Daniel.
Okay. Where's Sam Witwicky?
What? Are you gonna say I'm gaslighting?
So this one is Sam Witwicky.
No,
or whatever his name is.
That's Spike.
Spike.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the one with mother-bearing hymns.
Mother-bearing hips.
That's wife Witwicky.
Wife Witwicky, huh? So
I mean, I'm pretty sure the manual said like Daniel and Spike.
we don't know.
I mean, I can find the manuals.
Ah, that's him. I am driving.
I have to go to work.
Insert clip of Frenzy.
Yeah, Frenzy putting it into his ass.
Bah. Danielson. It has a D. It has a D on his shirt. That must mean his name is Daniel. Don't you wear shirts with your initials on there?
Hang on. Show me that. Do I believe it? Oh my god, it does. Spike Spiegel doesn't have an S.
Maybe the D stands for...
Yeah. I'm gonna censor that.
stands for Dick?
Oh no.
Dick Grayson?
Yeah, perfect. So, the great thing about this Ultra Magnus figure is, in addition to those accessories, which he cannot store, he can store accessories in his back. He has a big backpack that's actually functional.
Whoa!
It's quite good. You can store his extra face. Face. That's his. Whoa!
That's just...
And better than Galgagar, swapping out his face is extremely easy. All you gotta do is rip that off, and then he's got this like.
Oh my gosh, dude. Pretty good, eh? Hang on. Let me just...
Pretty good, eh?
You rip that off, and then we can give him.
Why does it look like Vegas? Why does it look like Sony Vegas?
You rip his face off, and then you can swap it out with a bar, and then you can just put it back on. So that disgusting face he had underneath that was supposed to be an Optimus Prime, but white, because he's armor around an Optimus Prime.
Ah.
So yeah, that alternate face is the one he had when he was trying to open the Matrix. He was like, "No, don't shoot me, please."
What if he said...
Hey kids, watch this!
What have you done?
What have I done?
What have I done?
Ooh, rip ass! Now, was it you or Oni Plays, Chris O'Neill, that had the story of a friend that they went over to their house?
That was Ding Dong.
That was Ding Dong.
Place.
Describe that story.
I'm not. Well, yeah, I guess I can. Well, no. I'll just put the clip in because it's
Okay.
not that long of a clip.
And then he would fart so fucking loud, it would sound like he's shitting for like a straight minute, and he'd go, "Oh, rip ass!"
I have to leave that clip in. That's really good. That's like Big Mama's House comedy right there. Oh, I didn't talk about his posability. Well, I'll record that eventually. Looky, there's an OP. Looky, there's a leader.
No, this is Magnus.
Looky, there's a Magnesite. Who's tall? Ultra Tyrone Magnesite, posing and articulation. So let's start at the head. He's got the same thing as OP Leader, where he can look side to side to side, and up and down. And look, his head can actually do like a chicken. Like,
He can peck.
So he's got the arms are on these butterfly joints for the transformation, but they help with extending his arm out for when he wants to do this. He only has one click.
For when he needs to.
He only has one click of outward, and then
One click of an lateral.
yes. This
lateral raise.
this isn't ratcheted. It's just swivel, and then he has this swivel here. He has bicep ratchet, and then he has a ball jointed wrist, so he can angle it outward, upward, you know, all kind of ball joint stuff. His fingers are on separate hinges for the trigger finger and the 3 fingers, but there aren't hinges at the knuckle or at the thumb. So it's a bit more limited. This little turret is on that, and you can
move it out like this, kind of mess around with that. His waist has nothing. It has to be solid because of how he transforms. His skirts can move out a little bit. He has thighs that at the hips can put, and yeah, that's about as far as that's gonna go. It's ratcheted forward. You can go about that far forward, and let's get his butt flat out of the way. Ooh. And then his knees can go about that far, and they can actually bend backwards, unlike OP Leader.
You can hyperextend.
Yeah, he can hyperextend. And then his feet do not bend forward, but they do have a side bend, like a pivot.
Nice.
So, much more limited than OP Leader, but he's huge.
He is very tall.
He's a Magnus site. Here we see Masterpiece Ultra Magnus next to OP Leader, Armada Prime, Tahu, and a Coke. And we got him next to Gygar and Guy King as well.
What's nice is these on the original toy are like little missiles. They don't shoot, but you can still take them out, and they look like a missile.
Okay.
Like a little shooty missile.
Looks good. Okay.
Right? Pretty nice. Pretty cool. Pretty good, eh?
So you're a hedgehog, eh?
The gun is very nice. Show the matrix chamber. I've already put the OP Leader matrix in there.
Oh, that's so cool that it matches.
Right, that's what I was telling you. You were asking me like, oh, is this the right matrix for his massive gorilla hands? Yeah, because it fits in there. Time for the transformation. Music, oh yeah. Boy, Magnus Carlson, or what did you call him? Tucker Magnus?
Tyrone Magnus.
Tyrone Magnus. So, Ultra Magnus vehicle mode. Quite cohesive, if I may say so. I love that he's technically kind of hooked on and fused to his trailer. Like that ain't coming off unless you want it to, because there's a little switch underneath him where you push that and then the cab comes off.
That's so interesting. Like looking at him in this form, it's more obvious to me that it's essentially a version of Optimus.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from the color, but like that's just Optimus. It's recolored.
Correct.
This is an Optimus recolor, and I think that's cool conceptually because I never really thought of that.
In fact,
I never really thought of him in that way per se. Ooh, hey.
you see how they kind of size up pretty well together. Ultra Magnus gets bigger, and OP Leader just kind of gets smaller. Here we can see him in his vehicle form next to Tahu, Coke. We got Gal Gaigar and Guy King the Great. And you're not seeing either of the Optimus Prime figures here because, I don't know, I think I just forgot to take pictures of them. Oh well, oops.
It just seems so obvious in retrospect that, like, Ultramax is just Optimus, but
In a suit.
yeah, like at the end of Revenge of the Fallen.
Right. Similar concept where a trailer combines with him. Well, Jafar is not a trailer until the third movie, but...
Oh, that's what that's intended to be, yeah. That's right! Yeah, he uses it again.
Yeah.
I forgot about that, because I remember, like, it was, like, 2 years between each movie, so everyone's, like, at the end of Revenge of the Fallen, Optimus just takes off the armor, and I remember the Amazing Atheist, I'm sorry, the Distressed Watcher, on thatguywiththeglasses.com, said, like, why would you do that?
But after he defeats his enemies, he discards all of the extra parts that made him such a badass. Why would he do that?
Why would you, like, have, like, this cool set of armor that allows you to, like, kick men through 10 walls?
The Distressed Watcher?
Yeah.
That's like if someone gave me magical armor that enabled me to kick like 10 guys' asses at once, and then when I was done, I just took it off and tossed it aside and said, well, don't need that anymore.
I wonder why Ultra Magnus wasn't in those movies. I guess because we already have the Optimus.
Well, you gotta consider Ultra Magnus is like a second fiddle to Optimus.
He's got like a cool dynamic pose. Yeah. Oh, like a side-by-side. How about, let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the exact same...
The camera, get a size comparison.
Yeah, you can tell that they have the same design language going on.
You can also see Ultra Magnus's face. There's Ultra Magnus's face. He's like, hello. Ultra Magnus basically plays second fiddle to Optimus, and that's his whole role in the movie and in all the subsequent shows. So I can understand why Michael Bay would want to kind of forgo the character entirely.
That's true.
So, let me show you something really cool about Ultra Magnus's truck mode. Everything that happens with the trailer. So, number one, it has a ramp.
Cool.
Right, so you can load cars, put them in his ass.
So other Transformers in this line, if they had a car form, would they fit into there? Like,
yeah.
Have you demonstrated? Can you demonstrate?
Yes.
Okay.
Just plug him in.
Plug him in. Plug him in. Plug him in.
Whoa!
See,
Luigi!
There.
You think he can? Okay.
Yeah, he's just resting.
Can he fit inside the trailer bit?
Optimus himself, no.
Okay, yeah.
But if you had something, say, even the Earthrise stuff in like legacy figures from nowadays will fit just fine. In fact, I've gone as far back as using like the old Generations figures and like Universe figures even. The stuff that came from the main Hasbro toy line. That stuff will also fit.
So, do other Transformers from the same line, the same series?
Masterpiece line?
Yeah.
Yes,
Do you think
those definitely would fit.
Okay.
I have like a Masterpiece Bumblebee that's small enough that it's gonna fit in there. You can see the missiles from his robot mode have carried over into vehicle mode. And this is one of two configurations. You can actually take that and put that in the front.
That seems a little bit better.
Right, this is how it looks in the toy. The toy.
This is the toy.
In the original toy.
Oh, okay.
Right, it was configured like this, and in the show, it was configured on the side. Why there was that discrepancy, unsure, but the good part is they gave you the option to do both. Really, really solid Ultra Magnus. I would say this is the best to-date Ultra Magnus. Like, it still holds up. Also, I just want to note, I love how transforming him, these wheels in his robot mode are just fake, right? Like, when he's a robot, they're this, right? So then he doesn't roll around when he's standing up.
Oh. Oh, right, those are his legs.
Right.
Back there, okay.
I think that's kind of some smart engineering right there.
Sure, yeah.
And when you have smart engineering, you got a talent on your hands. No one's gonna get that.
I know. I was gonna say, like, if you keep that in the video, it's not gonna mean anything to anyone.
It's gonna mean literally nothing to no one except for us.
That's a new gag, new running gag.
New running gag, and people will be like, what did he mean by this? This will be the bottom of the DJ Reviews icebergs.
It's so stupid. Let
me show you one more cool thing. Unlike with Optimus Prime, or OP Leader, where his gun just, you gotta toss that off to the side, he's got built-in gun storage.
Hey.
So that's quite good.
That's pretty good, yeah. That's quite good.
Oh, that's quite good, actually.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's cooked.
Yeah, that's cooked.
It needs some adjustment. Hang on, let me just...
One thing I do need to show with the truck cab, the inclusion of the minifigures. We had Danielson and Spike.
Oh.
Let's bring those back. But yeah, look, you can jam them in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, show that to the camera.
Ooh. Let's turn on the light. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can see them right in there. That's so cool.
That's a running bit. I'll take the audio from the Gal Gaga review where I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah.
I love the fingerprints on the...
Listen, it's a well-loved figure.
Yeah. There you go.
What I love about this figure personally is the transformation was way easier and more intuitive than the Optimus Prime one. This one, it's like exactly how you'd think it would transform is how it transforms. The arms get longer, the legs, this part folds up, these come out from the back of the legs, turn into a trailer. It's straightforward, right? It's very intuitive and it's very easy. OP Leader, extremely complicated because of all the witchcraft that had to go on to compress the tall dude down into a truck that turns inside out. So, honestly, even though this has quite a bit less posability and like the fingers don't move as much, and even though he's got the big butt flap that Optimus Prime doesn't have, I gotta say I like this guy better. I just think he's more fun.
Okay.
Or maybe it's the fact that he's just a bigger figure.
Hammond went and got a bigger figure.
Hammond went to go get a bigger figure.
So yeah, I would say, all in all, this figure is kind of like the Takara Tomy Hasbro gold standard for me. Right, OP Leader, yeah, that's extremely good. But if we're looking at official stuff, this to me, that's top bar, right? We've peaked. You can't go past this for me. Would you agree?
Well, the way that you rate the Transformers toys, and myself as a non-Transformer collector, I look at it from, do I like having it in vehicle form or robot form more? And you are considering also the transformation sequence, like how long that takes, yada yada, how fun it is. And in my opinion, I don't really care that the OP Leader is like a nightmare to transform.
Well, here,
I still like how his robot form looks the most versus Ultra Magnus robot form, where he feels a little like not as rugged. You know
right,
what I mean?
but feel him in the hand. Maybe that'll change your mind.
You're trying to sell me on like the other...
Well, I'm trying to give you a fair opinion.
Yeah, he feels hefty and all, but Um,
He feels a bit more hollow,
yeah,
especially in the cab.
well, yeah, it's because of the nature of like the plastic. There's just more plastic in the Ultra Magnus, and I don't know. He just felt, even in robot form, he just felt a little bit more delicate.
So you're saying to you, OP Leader is the superior?
Yes, I guess because it feels more rugged. It feels like this was designed for, well, I wouldn't say like adults to use. Like that also was like an adult-oriented kind of.
Correct.
I don't even know if I would say adult. Just a collector series where it's not just like. It's like the difference between Lego UCS and Lego, normal consumer stuff.
It's just the same thing but bigger.
And I tend to like more rugged things.
Okay.
Just because I've had experiences in the past with my toys breaking from like a little bit of play, and I think Transformers is the same idea where I'm always like trepidatious about like, oh shit, will that snap off?
So you're saying you're very much not a model kit enthusiast, where like the Guy King, that was like you pick it up, you feel like it's gonna explode in your hands.
Yes.
So I can understand your feedback and where you're coming from with OP Leader, and I will say that I stand by what I said before, where OP Leader as a figure, really, really good, but as far as official Hasbro Takara stuff,
oh sure, I understand that. Like it's not really fair to compare some third-party one.
Yeah, this one had like tons of it was a passion project.
Yeah.
Right. This is multi-million-dollar corporation churning out, something that they thought was going to be really, really good, and it was. So yeah, I would say gold standard for the official Transformer stuff is this. This is the best.
Okay.
And now we got to look for the worst. That's not foreshadowing for anything. All right, I think that's a wrap on that review. Florida. Next page.
Oh, it's still going on. Still turning into hedgehogs.
Well, they're turning into vehicles.
Still turning into vehicles. We'll have a thing where we edit it so it says vehicles.
Still turning into vehicles.
We're just saying stuff. Trying to pass the time.
The
Cats are freaking out.
The Gats.
And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? Now, get your hands over there.